This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Thank you for listening to This is a Place podcast. My name's Matt.
My name's Brandon.
I'm Nate.
And we have a very special guest with us today.
And I am Anthony.
Welcome, Anthony. I wanted to wish you guys a happy National Hot Dog Day.
That's not what day it is.
Today, yeah, it's National Hot Dog Day. What do you guys think about hot dogs? Are you a fan?
I'm a huge fan.
I know what
Nate?
your favorite hot dogs are.
The ones that you can eat.
No, Nathan's hot dogs.
Nathan's Hot Dogs.
Oh,
I won a hot dog eating contest on ESPN Radio and Hot Dog Olympics.
And on ESPN Radio?
Mm-hmm.
How many hot dogs is that?
Well,
Start from the
haven't-
beginning.
I've told this story before, haven't I?
I don't think so.
It's
Anyways,
actually, it's kind
Tell
of
it again.
ringing
I
a
love this
bell.
story.
When
It's
I-
my favorite
wh-
story.
Dude, this will be your favorite story. Is I think when I worked for Big & Sons, I was delivering stuff and I was listening to ESPN Radio and they had a call in and win. So I called in, I won, and then they invited me to come to so the first contest was eat like 3 Costco dogs against another guy. The first, and just the hot dogs, not the buns. Whoever could eat it the fastest and whistle the Sports Center theme won. And I ate all 3 of my hot dogs and whistled before he even ate his one hot dog.
I'm remembering
So
the story.
Yeah. And then we did like a hot dog Olympics or something at Gold's Gym. And I won that one. So it was a bunch of weird events. And then they did a hot dog eating contest at Liquid Joe's. And I was like getting ready to puke. And the girl behind me, like one of the probably girls from one of the local strip clubs, was counting the hot dogs for everybody. Everyone had their own stripper. And she told me, she's like, dude, you're in the lead like by 6 hot dogs. I was like, what? So I kept going. And then there was only like 3 minutes left. And then at the end, they're like, oh, the guy who won beat me like by 10 hot dogs. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, how could I be winning by like 6 and then lose? So I think the girl helped the other guy and just like, okay, I'm going to make you win. I don't know. So
Were you tipping her? I mean, that would
I
definitely...
think that's the problem.
Oh.
I didn't tip her.
Okay.
So it's my own fault. I still ate hot dogs the next day. So
How long were you tasting the Costco hot dogs afterwards?
like any
Oof.
typical hot dogs, couple hours, right?
I don't believe that. I eat a Costco hot dog and I feel like I can taste it 8 effing hours later. And
That's what everybody says, right?
yeah,
But yet we go back. Why? Because they're
because it's
$1.50.
$1.80, 50. Is it $1.50? I'm
It's
gonna go get one
$1.50.
right now. If it's $1.50,
It's $1.50. The Costco guy will never change it, he says. So they take a loss, supposedly, on the hot
Oh, wow.
dogs.
It's weird that July 19th is National Hot Dog Day and not July 4th. Doesn't July 4th seem like the day it should be National Hot Dog Day?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, like hot dogs aren't even American, if I'm not mistaken. They're definitely German, though.
But, I mean, we've got the hot dog eating contest on July 4th. Everybody's eating hot dogs on July 4th anyway.
Stuffing your face is definitely an American thing, though.
Yeah. So it just makes
100%.
sense. Not July 19th.
Yeah.
either way, I will be eating a hot dog at J-Dog's later today.
Is that a plug? Are they?
Now a
Sponsor?
Are you saying
sponsor?
today or like the day that this episode comes out? Because it's kind of late, Matt.
Don't ruin the magic.
You're really effing up my immersion,
Today.
dude. If you talk like that, like I'm just trying to live in the future, and you're really messing it up.
Okay, sorry. It is July
Um,
19th today.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of J-Dogs. They are amazing. I get just the hot dog, the J sauce, whatever it's called, and a pickle in it. And I have those at least once a month.
Well, isn't that how J-Dog started, going back to Costco? Is he was just selling Costco hot dogs out of a little snow cone shack?
Really?
That's not what I've heard.
No?
Those J dogs are so much tastier than Costco dogs. It could just be the way
they
they cut them.
improve the
I
recipe.
swear, they're little
of
like
course.
slices on the dogs. It just makes it taste better. I don't get it,
Yeah.
but it does.
Oh,
Yeah, I
The
bought one of those
slices.
hot dog slicer things so I could do it at home.
What I've heard
had-
is that the owner and founder served a mission in Canada, and he loved getting hot dogs because they were good and cheap. And then he came back to the U.S. and realized hot dogs here sucked. And so he started his own hot dog place and apparently gets his hot dogs imported from Canada.
Well, I think didn't he
What?
originally start? Anyways, that's the rumor I heard. He was at BYU or something. He originally got the hot dogs from Costco.
Right.
But I
Ma-
think he
so
now
I heard
gets
that
his
part.
own.
I heard the BYU part too, so maybe both our stories are correct.
we just gotta have Mr. J Dog himself on to tell us the story. That's what I think. So I'll make some calls.
I have the hookups.
I actually had Doghouse. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I've had that.
I had that for my first time.
Home of the $12 hot dog.
Is that how much it costs?
I don't know, something like that. It broke the bank. I took a check there. I'll never do it again.
I believe it, but I had it for my first time actually a couple weeks ago. I went to a concert at USANA, and they had those there, and it was pretty all right.
Who was playing at USANA?
Fall Out Boy.
I think I accidentally saw them live.
The same day I did.
No,
Oh,
back in the day.
that
Was
was an
that-
accident.
That
I
was
did it
that
on
time.
purpose. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Anthony, was that the time we accidentally kissed?
That would definitely have been more of a My Chemical Romance thing. I don't usually
Oh,
do
yeah.
that kind of stuff at Fall Out Boy.
That's right. Well, Brandon brings up USANA. We're going to talk about concert venues today for half of the time. But the reason that we have Anthony on is because Anthony has his own recording studio that he rents out to people in his
Thanks for
backyard.
having us in today, Anthony. So
Yeah,
we can check
thank
it
you.
out.
Yeah. Hope you guys like it.
I love
Like
it.
tasty
That's
LED
awesome.
lighting.
It's weird because I grew up with Anthony, and his recording studio now was his shed. And there's one of those scents that you can always smell when you think about it. So I can visualize that shed, and I can smell it immediately. Opening the door, I can smell that shed. So it's one of those strong like memories.
I mean, the smell we're
Killer
smelling
shed.
right now in the shed.
Yeah,
This turpentine, almost gasoline,
Yeah.
soaked smell.
I never knew. I knew it was like gas, but I never knew what the other scent was. But I knew it was something mixed with gas.
That really could have been one of the dogs or my stepdad. He spent a lot of time in there. So
Yeah.
Tell us more about Anthony. I mean, we've got you here on the episode. Tell us about yourself, sir.
yeah, kind of like Matt said. I mean, initially, so I've lived in this particular house for 20 plus years. And so that shed has always been there. And then eventually my stepdad did an addition to it to size it up a little bit. And so oftentimes Matt and I as kids would just kind of hang in there. And then as we grew up, we'd start kind of like screwing around with music in there. That's kind of all it was. And then fast forward to completing my mission and, doing my own band stuff, upon realizing, we're having my own band practice in my living room, set up with PAs and a drum kit. I don't know how I had roommates at that time. I don't know how they dealt with it, but they did, I guess. I was just like, and I was just like, man, I'm not feeling this. And so I took a look at the rehearsal space, the shed, because that's all it was back then. It was just a wooden shed with some storage racks and a bunch of crap. And so I was like, let's give this a go. I'm gonna see if I can kind of give this place a facelift. And I just gradually started renovating it, almost exclusively from KSL. Like, if you guys have been to like a foam pit and you you take a dive into those foam pits and you're just like, I'm gonna 360 gainer this shiz, man. So imagine if you just took a bunch of armfuls of those and just started cutting them into pieces. That's almost exactly what I did. Found some guy selling them on KSL, and one by one, I just started gluing them to the wall. I made some bass traps to catch the low end frequencies. There's some corrugated metal on the west wall, and you can see it here. That's kind of diffuses the sound, so the sound doesn't just hit the wall and come straight back. And it was initially, like I said, just going to be for my own band rehearsals, and then upon realizing how much these bands are paying for like a slot at Positively Fourth or Downtown Music or whatever these bigger name venues are, where it's like upwards of $300 to $500 to rent or reserve a room for the month. I was just like, let's just charge people by the hour, because I wouldn't do that. Sometimes I practice once a week. Sometimes we'll do twice a week. I think Matt and I and Brandon actually experienced a little bit of that as well, practicing once a week and sometimes practicing not at all for 3 weeks. And Anthony's just sitting in his little shed alone, wondering where his supposed bandmates are. I digress.
Well, I did make an appearance. I think only one appearance.
Yeah, you made that first time you showed up.
And then I was not invited back.
Your lyrics were terrible.
My lyrics for the song that we were covering, yeah, I did terrible.
Doug Marsh's lyrics were terrible.
And also, you lent me your bass, and I was supposed to learn how to play it, and I didn't.
You must have brought it back, though, because I have it now, which is actually Matt's bass. That's the bass I used today. So yeah, bands started booking it up, then COVID hit and it tanked. I was actually getting good business. Like people were inviting me. People were contacting me on Google. It was going really well. I charged like $15 an hour, pennies. And then COVID hit and people had no reason to do live shows. So that tanked. And now as of last year, I kind of opened up to the public again, and now people are booking it up. And it's $16 an hour now, adjusted for inflation prices.
Price gouging.
We've seen a 7% increase in our prices from 15 to 16 an hour. And now, as long as people are respectful and chill, I love letting random bands come through and use it to their own discretion, do their own rehearsals. They've got a gig coming up. We'll come in a few times a week. I've had touring bands come through, some bigger touring bands actually, who have just found me on Google, and I haven't even been pushing advertising particularly hard. So it's really promising to see the results that I have been getting with the lack of advertising that I have been doing.
What bigger bands?
Fall Out Boy. That's how you
I had to
actually
turn
saw them.
Fall Out Boy away because, I don't know, we get Matt in the same room as me listening to Fall Out Boy. We don't need to go down that road. It was one of these bands that's like the emphasis on the chick, not like a Britney Spears type band, but like, who are the Gen Zers listening to these days? I honestly don't know what they were called. I know
Taylor
they had
Swift.
like 300,000 or a million monthly listeners, but I never heard of them. Taylor Swift. No, not her either, actually.
I like that you went from 300,000 to 1 million. That's a great range.
I think I had one that was 1 million, one that was 300,000, and so that's why I'm like, I don't remember which one was which. It was this kind of new age pop chick singer with her producer team and stuff like that. So
Is it open for recording, or is it mostly just a rehearsal space?
yeah, we've definitely had people come through for recording. That's less often because I myself am not specializing as a sound engineer, and so I don't want to be doing that kind of thing. But people have brought the people who do know what they're doing come solo it. People have brought their own other people to record from them. It's predominantly, for the most part, the rehearsal studio, but yeah, there is definitely the aspect of studio recording as well.
Nate and I we've done a couple songs, right, Nate? We probably need to turn them
Right.
into make an album eventually out of all our songs.
Well, you know where to find me.
You think that's something we could do, Nate?
Absolutely. Why don't we just start a band?
Yeah, that too.
Well, Nate, we already have a band, but you are invited to join us.
Oh.
We are Old Fashioned Future, trademark.
So I notice you're saying we are. Is this like we took a 13-year hiatus type of
The
deal?
people have been
Well-
asking. This is our
This is our return.
return.
We never broke up, though. I don't remember, so we're still in business.
We're predominantly a Neil Diamond cover band.
Did we cover Neil?
No,
Oh,
we were trying to get a gig at Taylor's Old Days, hoping to push out the other Neil Diamond band.
coincidentally, I do actually have a band who comes regularly, and they were one of the bigger acts at Taylor's Old Days, so it's cool.
Are they older people?
No, let's promote them. Let's do it. Bad Rumor. with Ben with Bad Rumor.
Huh,
They did
okay.
an awesome show at Taylorsville Days. I would strongly encourage people who, are into the 80s, 70s, glory, classic rock days to look them up. They put on a good show.
Are they older?
I would say they're in their 50s to 60s, yeah.
Okay. I think I actually know who it is.
Bad
Nice.
Rumor.
Clint? Or I think there's a band member.
Possibly. Maybe that
band
does sound
member.
vaguely familiar.
I will have to find out.
I would not be surprised. Yeah, Clint sounds very familiar, actually.
My father-in-law goes to all of their shows, and I'm not even joking. It's
Very
one of his
cool.
friends. And yeah, they
Oh.
performed at Taylorsville Days.
They don't really have a presence on Spotify, but I did find someone on Spotify that I think is pretty cool. This band called Friendly Fellows. You know anything about them?
I don't know, but it'd make a great last name. Like Tom Fellows.
That's a good name, Tom Fellows.
Or
Thinking
long. Long fellows.
Yeah. So Friendly Fellows, that was my foot in the water of music. Like, I came back from my mission, and it's funny, it comes back to the three of us. When we would rehearse in the shed, I felt like I was kind of at this weird standstill where it was like, I would come up with my guitar part or whatever, I would have my parts down ready to go. But if we didn't all have it, we were all just kind of stuck. And so back then, at that point in my life, I didn't feel like I had the confidence to write anything else. I didn't think I could write lyrics or drum parts or bass, anything like that. I was just like, guitar's my lane, that's what I'll do. So fast forward to post-mission.
Hold on. You didn't listen to the haters, and you said, I can.
That would be pretty cool if that's what that song was based off of, my single from the band Friendly Fellows on Spotify. And single in a literal sense.
But you've got, you don't even have, like on Spotify, they'll do like the less than sign. It's less than 1,000. You're past that.
Which is pretty cool, isn't it? Considering
cool.
I didn't promote my track at all.
That is really cool.
It was like, I was just like, okay, I'm going to throw this track out and see what happens. And then I didn't do anything. I didn't promote it. I shared it when it first came out. I played, me and my band played a few shows. It was fun. We had a great time. But I kind of just threw it out there to give myself accountability to be like, look, now you have a track out. You got to keep cranking them out. Nope, that didn't work at all. So threw one track to the ethers, and I'm amazed at the streams that it did get. So everybody who did support and listen to Friendly Fellows, my deepest gratitude for all of you helping us break like 2,500 streams or whatever it's at. 2,477 streams, not like I'm counting.
2,463.
Is it actually?
I'm gonna go put on repeat for a little bit, get you to that 2,500 mark.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, if you didn't catch that, Friendly Fellows on Spotify, and it's a good song. But I do have a question about that song. There's some yelling in the background, and does it say something like "Shut up, Dorothy" or something like that?
Yeah, sit down, Dorothy.
Sit down, Dorothy.
In the second verse, the protagonist or antagonist, whatever you'd like to refer to him as, I think it's much more of an antagonist than anything else. We have this ego-driven character who goes into a retirement home to feel better about himself. And so he's in this retirement home playing cards with the elderly, just kind of shouting out commands at the senior citizens.
And that was one, sit down, Dorothy.
I think Dorothy is definitely a senior citizen.
Yeah. Oh, that's my grandma's name.
Well, there was not that one, though. I would never, this ego-driven character would never speak such blasphemies to your grandmother.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. And I actually did see you perform this song live, and I don't know if you even remember, but I did yell. I think I yelled, "Shut up, Dorothy!" But at that part, but that wasn't my favorite venue. That was it was really cool. It was at a high school, American Fork High School,
American
or
Fork High School.
Pigpen. I think it was Pigpen, which is
the Pigpen.
Lee. I honestly don't. Pleasant Grove. I think it's Pleasant Grove. High
Grove.
School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was cool because at a high school, it gives local bands more opportunity. But
yeah,
I think I'm going to switch the conversation here because that is not my favorite venue. We're going to go around and say our favorite venues, and I'm going to start first because I don't want anybody to take mine. So that's how it works when I'm in charge, Brandon.
Yeah.
My favorite venue in Utah is the Depot. I've seen a lot of good shows there, and I just really like it. The last show I saw there was the Bouncing Souls with Brandon.
Yeah.
We went on New Year's Day.
Was it New Year's Eve?
I don't think it was New Year's
Day.
Eve.
Yeah, you're right.
New Year's Day. Or no. Yeah.
Or was it the day before New Year's?
Maybe. It might have been the 30th, December 30th.
That's what I think it was.
So I've seen the Bouncing Souls there. I've seen my favorite band, Built to Spill, there. I've seen Jenny Lewis there. And Jake Bellows, very close to Anthony Fellows. You guys should join
It's my cousin.
join forces. So I've seen a lot of really good shows there, but I just love the Depot. It's really nice, I think.
Like Jake and myself would have been like rivals. I would have been like, man, if Fricker gets to go first in lunch line at elementary, be like, he comes before I do.
Yeah, because that's what life comes down to. Who went first in the lunch line at elementary school?
There was a particular female that you associated with the last name of Fell, Fell. And it was definitely some of that energy there. I was like, cool, if I just shaved off 3 letters of my last name, I could be where you are. You're not better than me.
Yeah. But you can't, so she's still better than you. Anthony, do you have, I know you played at Pigpen. Have there been other venues you've played at, or do you have a favorite venue?
This recent one I kind of started going to a couple shows at is the Union. I don't know if any of you have been there.
I have been.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of it. It's definitely a larger venue, and
Yeah.
I certainly prefer. And I should clarify: are we talking about Utah exclusive or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Despite the fact that it's not intimate by any means, I do like the sound there, and I kind of like the layout. It's a cool place. I saw a band called Future Islands there. I've done some interpreting work for other shows there too, but Future Islands is the last show I saw there.
I text Brandon a Future Islands video last night. Because- Yeah.
Seasons change.
Yeah, you can't listen to him without watching
Yeah.
the music video. Without to witness his dancing, it's a spectacle.
That is the
I've
official
heard-
music video, the one on Letterman, right?
I hope so. It's iconic.
Should be.
I was reading comments on that Letterman performance of Future Islands, and everybody was saying the band is much better live. His dancing is much better live than just that video. So
Yeah, I would certainly back that up. I mean, he kind of plays it safe in that video and just keeps doing this like head to side bob thing, but he does a lot of fun stuff. He really gets into it. Like he goes the whole show too.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
My favorite venue is gone. Classic bowling.
Classic bowling.
Yeah. Or even classic skating. Do they have
You've
concerts
seen
there anymore?
Concerts at Classic Skating too.
That is a
haven't you?
thing.
Yeah.
Did you see
yeah,
Creed there or something?
I saw Creed and I left because it sucked. And then like a month later, they were playing stadiums.
I hated Creed before everyone else hated them.
There you go. Creed there. Monica came through. Bunch of bands. We used to have a lot of like raves and stuff like that. So what do you call them? Like punk bands or
EDM. Oh, yeah.
what do you call like not the grunge, but the screaming punk stuff.
Hardcore?
No,
Screamo?
there's another word. I
Moshes.
can't remember that name.
Post-hardcore? Metalcore?
Hardcore.
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 That's-
Also-
That was the one. But I want to hear more about this classic bowling. What is that?
Yeah, classic bowling. I saw Firehouse. At classic bowling, it was like not part of the bowling alley. It was like next to it. It was like a big kind of like rectangular room, and the stage was on the same level that you're standing on. So the only people who could see the band members were the tall ones, those that were taller than 6 feet tall. Super hot in there. It was super muggy and hot, and it was a good time, good concert.
I
Where
take
was
it
this
you're
at?
tall then if you like this venue.
Yeah, I'm 6'1". My friend I was with was like 6'3" or 4", so he could see. But it was actually a pretty good concert. It's gone now. They've knocked it down.
Where was it?
Classic bowling.
Is it the one that's on State?
State Street. Yeah, it had that big bowling pin.
The bowling pin's still there, but the venue and
yeah.
the bowling alley are. Is it an apartment complex now?
I believe so.
It's actually been featured in several Hollywood films, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right too. Yeah.
Double teamed. It sounds inappropriate, but that's a
Double
Disney
teamed.
movie. Double teamed. Yeah, it's about these two.
The
Double
world's
teamed
fastest.
is about these twins that play basketball, and they like live and work and You see the bowling
Oh
alley.
yeah. The one with
I'm
the
pretty sure that movie's called
thing?
Double Teamed.
They work at the bowling alley.
Or their family owns it or something. I think it plays a part in the movie.
we have to
But
do an
they
episode
definitely
on
show
that.
the bowling pin outside on State Street pretty often.
There's also the world's fastest Indian filmed there, which coincidentally also sounds inappropriate. But Indian is the name of a motorcycle company.
Oh
Right.
yeah, the Bonneville Salt Flats.
Anthony Hopkins himself.
Yes.
Crazy.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
So I don't go to many concerts anymore, so I don't really have a favorite venue.
Your favorite one is the last concert you went to,
Up
which
in
was
Ogden
the Ogden Amphitheater.
Amphitheater. I do like amphitheaters. I like the Sandy one, the Ogden one. I think it's fun going to concerts outdoors. Sometimes when you're indoors, it's either super hot in there or it's so loud you can't even hear what song they're playing.
Why
Great.
are you so old?
Why am I so old?
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
Oh, that's a good one.
I really like outside music. My favorite venue, not around in the form of a concert venue currently, is the Murray Theater.
Was it-
And it's probably a big nostalgia factor because it was like my second or third concert was there when I was like finally out on my own without my parents. And
When you were 25.
yeah,
Last week.
Yeah. but I just saw so many fun concerts there, and there was always something unique about it. There was one concert, I mean, I hated this, but it was still awesome. But everybody was stage diving the whole entire concert because it's just so small and intimate that you could do things like that. And yeah, I've seen a lot of primarily emo and some of those hardcore bands that Nate was alluding to, but I always had a good time at that venue.
Well, these dudes all just got out of their parents' basement, man. There's going to be some residual emotion.
Yeah. I might start crying right now myself. But we got some pretty good venues around here, to be honest. I mean, there's quite a selection in Utah. And I don't know what it's like in other states, but there's a ton
I'd agree
in Salt Lake.
We've got a good size. We have a good size ranging from something like the loading dock, which is super intimate and very small, to a new sauna.
I wanted to thank you, Anthony, for coming on today and giving us a little tour of the portal. I don't know if we talked about it, but I don't know if you mentioned it. How can people find it if any of our listeners are interested?
Yeah, definitely. I'm currently advertising on KSL because it's free. I'm advertising on Craigslist because it's free. And I will come up pretty quick in the search results of Google if you do the portal rehearsal space, or you can just type in the portal. It comes up pretty quick. It's
There,
high
baby.
up on there.
You got a new review, just so you know.
Great. Perfect. Yeah. That'll take us up to 5-star. 5-star review, you may have noticed.
Oh, I didn't give you a 5-star. Don't make assumptions here.
Oh, okay. 4.9 looks more realistic anyway. I appreciate it. So, yeah, definitely by any means, Google it. Call me. My information's on Google. Then I'll definitely look forward to our potential reunion of Old Fashioned Future again when we reunite maybe like 15 years down the line.
Can we time out for a second? And you guys said you were in a band, but you never said who did what. You said that Brandon maybe played the bass, but what was your band made up of? Who did what?
So I played the bass.
You did?
Did I?
You had a bass.
I
did.
held
You
the
were the
bass.
singer.
Brandon, I think Ryan played the bass.
Okay.
Ryan played the bass.
And
You
you
I
were
was
the
sang-
singer.
vocals. I was
That
the
shows
singer.
how present he was in all of this.
I was the singer, but quickly realized I didn't know the song. And I think I just sat there because I think someone else took over singing because I did such a poor job of it.
I think we took turns because Doug Marsh, so the band is Built to Spill, and we tried to cover Time Trap.
Yeah.
And that song particularly, he sings at a very high voice. Yes, it's very high. And so we quickly realized none of us could actually sing it.
You guys set me up to fail. You set me up so
Yeah.
you could kick me out of the band right away.
Yeah.
So I did singing for part of it, and then who else? What did you
I
do,
think
Matt? Guitar?
Matt, you would have been lead. I mean, you would have been rhythm.
Yeah,
right?
I was rhythm, and I had the sound effects down, which I felt pretty proud of. I had like the perfect like reverb.
Your digital FX pedal.
Yeah, it sounded good. And Anthony was on lead guitar.
Well, good
Do we
is
even have
subjective.
drums?
No.
How
No.
did we do this? We didn't have drums.
We couldn't even hardly maintain a singer. How could we bring in drums?
Drummer's the hardest to find.
Do we know any drummers?
We do.
I could play like 5 songs on the drums, maybe 6.
Well, you better start being comfortable playing more if you're going to be a part of this band.
You play Time Trap, I Built a Spell.
Do I know the song Time Trap? What is that song?
It goes like this. Boom, boom.
In a time
boom,
trap.
Boom, boom.
Like, who sings it?
Built
that
to
your
spill.
Huh?
Built to spill.
Built to Spill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
anything that's like simple, like the Beatles and stuff like that, I can do drum-wise. But
Are you
Take
dogging
a little bit of
on Ringo?
offense to that.
no, but that's like back then. It was just things were simple. It was just they kept the beat. They weren't trying to Van Halen it and
Keep
that
the
good
beat.
stuff.
I hear you. I hear you.
Well, before we let you go, Anthony, I have to ask you one question. I'd like if you could close us out.
The closing
Bye.
prayer.
Yeah, saying the closing prayer.
Do you guys
Can
want me
you-
to sign it in sign
Spiritual
language?
thoughts.
One of the first times Anthony and I went into his shed to rehearse, just to play around. And I think we even recorded this. I don't know if you still have the video, but can you tell us
Yes.
what happened?
So there we were. I mean, we had prepared ourselves. We had kind of come together. What was it? Time Trap? Was that actually the song that we were doing?
No, we were playing a Joe Satriani song.
Yeah,
No,
just stole
it
from
was Time
Coldplay.
Trap, dude. I Built the Spill. I have the freaking
Oh.
video of it.
You're right. But we
Yeah.
also played Joe Satriani too. But you're right. It is Time Trap.
It was some Built to Spill track. I know that. And so I have my Gibson SG with some questionable strap, and Matt's on rhythm. And I'm effing up hard. Like I'm missing. It's like Guitar Hero where you hit the wrong note and it makes that. I'm hitting a lot of those, like doing a lot pretty regularly. There's like this crowd in the background. So the music's pretty quiet. Like the song stops or something, and me and Matt are just staring at each other. My strap, the front of it, just unhinges, nose dives the headstock into the ground on my Gibson SG, and just kind of despairingly watch it all unfold. And
And
I
then
mean,
we
I still
shot.
have. I'm looking at it. It's on the wall inside.
Is it broken?
No, it's fully functional. It did indeed chip part of it, but it's playable. You can't hear it. You can't tell that the piece of wood is chipped when I play it. So
Sure.
Do you still know where that video is?
I had looked for it so many times, and I know my mom has to have it somewhere, but I have failed to turn up anything. But lastly, speaking of that Gibson SG, it is present on some of the new tracks that I'm recording for my new project that will be kind of rolling out in the next 2 months here. So, yeah, follow
Yay.
Friendly Fellows, which is the kind of archaic, ancient at this point Instagram page. And that's where I'll begin posting updates about the new project, the new name, all of that.
Sweet.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Anthony, for joining us today. It was nice reliving some good memories from our
Yes.
childhood.
Could you
Re-smelling.
just do a little bit of sign language for the listeners? I don't know if we've had anyone on the podcast that speaks sign language. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
like, what did you
and
just
that
say?
was thank you for coming to the portal today. We look forward for your continued attendance.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, do we have to say bye now?
Oh yeah, I could say it.
Well, what's the closing? Thanks for listening.
I do that. That's my part.
Well, you told me I was freaking hosting.
Well, you're
the
still
podcast.
relinquished to your
Well,
role, Matt.
Make a...
Like you're the intern.
Okay.
You're the temp.
All right. Yeah. Do whatever, Brandon. Go ahead.
Thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
And this was a place we just talked about.
Bye now.
Now you say something, Anthony.
Oh,
He can sign us off.
Sign us off.
You meant like sign language. That is what you meant, right?
Yeah, that's what we meant.
Or did you? Okay, that's what I thought. I got the joke.
Okay.